Good morning YouTube, and welcome to shredding season episode 45, I want to say. It's been another good day, and we are starting it off in good fashion. I've got a few errands to run, so I've got to go into town, go to the bank, blah 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 blah, lots and lots of boring stuff, and then we're going straight to the gym to do a shoulder workout. I think you guys saw a shoulder workout fairly recently, but just the way things have come around and when I've actually had time to film, it's been a shoulder day. So we're doing shoulders today, but as you probably just saw, another low weigh-in, 158.6. I'm over the moon with that. The next big sort of target in my head for me, not an actual legitimate target, but for me at least, is 157.5, because at that point I'll have lost exactly 1/4 of the body weight that I started with. So I now weigh 3/4 of what I did before, in essence, which is mad when you consider probably like half your body weight, if not more, is lean mass, especially when you're not completely obese, when you're somebody who's carrying a reasonable amount of fat, but also has quite a good muscle base, and obviously the bones, the organs, everything else. All of that lean tissue tends to weigh at least half, I would say, of your body weight, if not more. And so to have lost that much, it really does show how big of a transformation it's been. And yeah, I just think it's great. At that point, I can go out of the weekend, I can eat to my heart's content, blow back up to 160 pounds, carved up, just completely full, and get you a proper 160 pound physique update on the channel for you guys to see. So I'm going to get started with all that. When I come back, I will show you what I'm eating, although it's going to be most likely the same as every other day, because at this point, that's how the diet sometimes has to be. And that's okay, because we're still making progress. So let's go do that. Also, I forgot to mention, I've got a monster here, which is just bog standard for me. Alright guys, welcome to this workout. Starting off in the shoulder workout with some military press. Now, I never really used to do this movement. I'd always do seated shoulder press, or a heavy Arnold press or something along those lines. Whereas actually when I was quite a lot younger, I used to do it quite a bit. Camera's just fallen there, typical. I bought this Joby Gorilla Pod thing. It's useless, it never actually stands up on its own. Quite flimsy actually, if I am being honest. But where was I? Yeah, I used to do military press a lot when I first started lifting. It's a great compound movement, works several muscles at once, and it allows you to really overload, the shoulder muscles with a heavy weight. But I stopped doing it for a year or two. I'm not sure why, because I love it. So I went to military press, and with all my compound movements that I tend to do in my workouts, I tend to do 6 to 8 sets of them, and then sort of 3, 4, 5 of all the other exercises that I do throughout the workout. So I think in this particular shoulder workout I did 7 sets, 8 to 12 reps. Doesn't really matter where I fall within those ranges. However, if I consistently cannot reach 8, then I will drop the weight, and if 12 is too easy, then I will up the weight. Just depends on how I feel on the day. And as I said, next I go on to these sort of accessory movements. So the first one, and one of my favourites, if I had to pick one, this would be it, is a lateral dumbbell raise. Like I say, hitting the medial head of the shoulder. And it's just a great exercise overall, in my opinion. I did that for 4 sets of 8 to 12, and then I moved on to front raises with a dumbbell. I hadn't actually done these in a long time. Again, this was something I used to do back when I first started lifting, so I thought I'd try them out, showing you from different angles that a little bit of sway is okay, so long as all of the tension is still focused on the shoulder joint and the shoulder muscle. You're not actually using your back to pull the muscle. And then another favourite of mine, this one I've done throughout my time lifting, is a plate raise, as with both the other 2 exercises. 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. But because these are slightly lighter exercises, I do try and aim more for the 12 range, and a quick bicep flex. Alright guys, so we are back from the gym. Smashed that shoulder workout, really enjoyed it. Got a great pump, but now I'm definitely hungry. About to go have breakfast, even though it's like midday or gone midday. But I just wanted to explain why I've sort of swapped the things around that I have, in terms of I'm now having oats for breakfast instead of the eggs on toast. And the reason for that was the eggs on toast feels like a lunch if I have it for lunchtime, whereas before I was struggling to find things to have at lunchtime. Tended to just end up having yogurt and strawberries or blueberries or whatever it happened to be, and that didn't really, and it didn't feel like I was eating. It just felt like a little snack. It didn't feel like a proper meal to me. So now I'm having the oats with the peanut butter first thing, and then 2 or 3 hours later I will have the eggs on toast. Then I'll have a snack of either some fruit or yogurt or a protein shake. Then I'll have dinner, and whichever out of the fruit, the protein shake, etc. I didn't have, I will then have before I go to bed. So that's what I've been doing. Let's go do it, and I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later in the day. Right, as you have probably guessed, the 2 meals I had before this one were my oats with peanut butter and eggs on toast. I've been through them before, so if you check out the previous video, if you're new, then you'll see those, or I'm sure they'll feature in a video in the future. So what I'm having here is asparagus, slightly out of date. I mean, they're about a week out of date, just because I buy things like that and then never have them. And these skinny mini beef meatballs, now these things are fantastic. As you can see here, for half the pack, so that's 12 meatballs, it's like 125 calories, 2.7 grams of fat. So I had this across a space of 2 days. I had it with a slightly different combination the day before, or the day after. I think it was the day after. However, like I say, it's just protein with minimal fat, but it actually tastes great, which I think is the pinnacle of what you can actually achieve when you're dieting and looking for foods to eat. Got these sort of baked potatoes, as you saw. They are just microwavable, not really much added to them. I try and find the ones I can that are as simple as possible with no additives or anything like that. Some of them have a bit of salt added, which I'm not really too bothered about. So get in a pan. As you may have seen in previous videos, I spray them with sort of this 1 calorie spray, so I can kind of estimate exactly how many calories and grams of fat I'm putting in terms of oil, and also just not making it too fatty. The asparagus, I don't really like either end. The bottom end's too thick and the top end's a bit weird to me, and also they wouldn't fit in the pan, because the only pan I could find that was clean, or I think a lot of them have been thrown out because I destroy them when I cook. I had to use this little one of my mum's actually, and so I had to cut the asparagus down to size. But the meatballs take like 15 minutes or so on a medium heat. The asparagus was probably done a few minutes early, but just let it cook. The more you cook it, the softer it gets, and I really prefer vegetables that I eat to be soft. I hate a hard vegetable. Not really a fan of them at all, actually. And then the potato, you can just whack it in the oven. Yeah, the oven. No, the microwave. You can lob it in the microwave for 5 to 6 minutes, and it comes out as if you'd baked it in the oven for 40 minutes, because I'm terribly impatient and I really cannot be arsed with waiting that long for food. So, this is the end of the video, guys. Just sitting down outside doing some work, watching some Joe Delaney, catching up on the Ibiza nonsense that's been going on with him and Rob Lipsett. And yeah, just cracking on as usual. We are down to, actually, as of recording this, you'll probably see it in the next video, I'm like 157.8 pounds-ish, which is mad. Really, really close to that target of 155. But anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Thanks for watching, as always. Be sure to subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you in the next episode.